Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, from Eric Lima's Shenanigans of 1977, it's Thursday, and you know what that means. It's time for the TNA Event Center report. And now here's the man to give you all the total non-stop action and impactful report, Mr. Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there. Another episode of Eric Lima's Shenanigans, 1977. Episode 2462 of the show. How's it going, everybody? Hope everyone is having a wonderful hopefully everybody had a wonderful day. I had a decent day. I finally won on Press Your Luck with 12 years of bacon. No, I didn't get that prize, but I just finished watching Press Your Luck, and Maximilian did a pretty good job surviving once again with 3 whammies. And I'll tell you one thing. Talking about a triple whammy survivor, that Maximilian, I'll tell you. But, and for those who have not seen the show, do not watch this portion of the video. But, but for me on Press Your Luck, I finally won a game on Press Your Luck in the beginning of August. August has not been a very good month. Has not been a very good month for me. But, however, hopefully things will change. We're halfway through this month, thank goodness. So this is the final TNA show before Emergence, happening tomorrow night, starting at 7:30 with the countdown to Emergence. But before we get to the card and I make my picks and predictions for that, we're going to talk about what happened on TNA Impact tonight. As you know, Moose was attacked backstage. We don't know who, and Moose had the idea, said the rest of the system who showed up and who attacked you. He said, "Well, Trick Williams did." So they came out and they called out Trick Williams in First Class. And as you know, First Class did a little personnel change. Casey Navarro, out with an injury, is replaced by the original member of the First Class. That would be Rich Swann. And so that was supposed to be the main event, but instead they decided to get it done now. And Eddie Edwards says, "You know what? We're had enough. Let's get Santino. Let's make the match right now." So Eddie Edwards and then Trick Williams in First Class showing up. They had their matchup, and First Class and Trick Williams won the matchup. That could make Moose even madder. And then they had a 6-man. So that's 6-man. Now, Knockouts tag team matchup as Myla Grace and Harley Hudson. Myla Grace from Ireland, Harley Hudson from the UK, going up against UK's own Danny Luna and Australia's own Indy Hartwell. So that's an international flavored match there. And Hartwell and Luna ended up winning the matchup. But then Rosemary missed Hartwell after the match. So that will lead into something, and I will get to that when we get towards the end of the video. Matt Cardona one-on-one with John Schuyler. And Cardona ended up winning the matchup, but then Mustafa Ali, when the Grey Hands attacked Matt Cardona, Mustafa Ali came out and summoned the big man, Agent Zero. Agent Zero heads to the ring, grabs Matt Cardona, did a choke power bomb, and they stood tall in the end, in which satisfies Mustafa Ali. As Tasha Steelz and Jason Hodge did get involved during the matchup, but despite that, Cardona won. And so Hartwell was getting checked out by the doctor, and Jody Threat asked what the heck is going on. And then Dana Luna says, "What are you doing here?" I got a feeling that Jody Threat and Dana Luna may end up going one-on-one. They were supposed to stay split after they couldn't defeat the Elegance brand for the Knockouts tag team titles. So there's that. And Matt Cardona ends up confronting Tasha Steelz. Says, "I want your man. I want Mustafa Ali one-on-one at Emergence." And then Tasha Steelz, "You know what? You got it." So that match is happening at Emergence. Then Santino Marella was moderating the Knockouts Tag Team Summit. It'll be the Elegance brand, the Knockouts Tag Team Champions. In the Freebird role, M by Elegance will be 1/3 of that team, defending the tag team titles against the team of Xia Li, No, not Xia Li. I did it like Santino Morella. Lei Ying Li and Xia Brookside. I would call him Xia Li. Xia Brookside, Lei Ying Li. Get it? Then you got the Inspiration, formerly known as the Iconics. I call them the Iconic Inspiration. And let's be real here. They should call them the Iconic Inspiration. Then you got Fatal Influences, Jasmine Nix, and Fallon Henley. So they had their say, and then Santino Morella is trying to calm everybody down. And he said, you just got 5 seconds to calm down. And all of a sudden, they all went at it. And he goes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, security. And security tries to break them up. And then everybody was doing dives off the ropes, landing on security. It's crazy out there, let me tell you. Then, Gia Miller interviewed Rosemary, and it seems like Rosemary is trying to send a message to Indy Hartwell. But then you got Steph DeLander and Mance Warner addressing Santino Morella, who on DeLander and Warner, when Mance Warner and Steph DeLander were not happy when Santino Morella suspended them for basically having sex in his office last week. Oh my God. I'm like, oh boy. I know they can get freaky, but you know, like Tom Hennepin says, Santino had his had to have his office fumigated. But they said we're not gonna listen. We're not accepting the suspension. We're gonna go wherever we want. That doesn't sound too good. Mike Santana went one-on-one with Eric Young. Santana won the matchup, but the Northern Armory gets involved and attacks Santana. Attacks Santana after the matchup, but then Sami Callihan made the save, and he's trying to go after Eric Young, who backs away from that. Now, the King's speech with Frankie Kazarian, he tried to talk to Steve Macklin, Jake Sumter, who said nothing to him, and then they were about to, and then Frankie Kazarian starts running his mouth again, and then Steve Macklin tells him to shut up, and then as he was talking, both men took turns beating up on Kazarian, and then beating up on shutting up Kazarian, and then Santana did a boss man slam, black hole slam like move on Macklin, holding the title, saying, "This is what I'm going to get. You're looking at this, the next champion." Then Sami Callihan addresses his career about if he doesn't win tomorrow night at Emergence, he will take the office job in TNA. He will hang his boots up in retirement. And then of all people, Eddie Edwards, who has quite the history with Sami Callihan in the past, saying, "What are you talking about, man? We're the last of a dying breed, man." And Eddie Edwards does not want him to retire. Eddie Edwards wants him to keep going. You know, and I'll tell you one thing. I think Eddie Edwards shows Sami Callihan some respect, and that's something, and that's very classy of Eddie Edwards. It's a little motivation. Show him, if it's your last night, show him what you made of. Show him who you are. You are the death machine, Sami Callihan. I'll tell you one thing, Eddie Edwards knows. Eddie Edwards ain't kidding. These two men fought each other back with a few years back, man. That's how bad it was. Man, oh man. So that's quite the rivalry between, and I think in the end, both men showed each other some respect, and that's a crazy thing to say, considering the history they have. Leon Slater and the Hardys took on Cedric Alexander and the Rascals. This was a heck of a matchup. A little preview of Emergence, and in the end, Cedric Alexander and the Rascals end up picking up the victory. They had a standoff in the end. And believe me when I say this, Cedric Alexander and the Rascals look ready to take those titles away, but we'll see what happens at Emergence tomorrow night. So I'm going to read off the Emergence in Chesapeake Arena, Baltimore, Maryland, And let's check it out. There's two matches happening at Countdown for two Emergence. This one just recently added. Indy Hartwell going one-on-one with Rosemary. The hometown man takes on Ryan Nemeth with Nick Nemeth suspended for Emergence. And then the Systems, Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers will take on First Class. Meanwhile, another match is added. Mustafa Ali one-on-one with Matt Cardona. International title on the line as Steve Macklin defends against Jake Sumpton. The Knockouts World Title Tag Team titles will be on the line in a fatal four-way matchup. It will be the Elegance brand defending it against the Inspiration, Laying Lee and Zaya Brookside, and Fatal Influences Jasmine Nix and Fallon Henley. Meanwhile, Mike Santana one-on-one with the Death Machine Sami Callihan in what could be Callahan's last match. Leon Slater to defend the X Division title against Cedric Alexander. The Hardys set to defend the tag team titles against the Rascals. And the TNA World title on the line, NXT's Triple Williams will defend that title against Moose in his own hometown. Because he grew up in Baltimore, Maryland. So, let's go from the bottom of the card to the top. Indy Hartwell, Rosemary. I think you're going to see Indy Hartwell win the matchup. Meanwhile, hometown man and Ryan Nemeth. I think there's going to be some little chicanery going on the part of the Nemeths. I think, you're going to see Nick Nemeth dress in a wrestler's mask, disguise himself. It could cost hometown man the match. I'm picking Ryan Nemeth to win this one. The first match, I'm picking Indy Hartwell over Rosemary. Meanwhile, the System versus First Class. I'm picking the System any day of the week. Plus, when I have my picture taken with two of the members of the System, and the Edwardses, Eddie and Alicia, I'm siding with my fellow Massachusetts natives. My fellow Massachusetts native and the legendary wrestler from New York, Brian Myers. I'm picking Brian Myers to win, along with Eddie Edwards. The System will beat First Class. Mustafa Ali versus Matt Cardona. You're going to see a lot of interference involved. I'm picking Ali to win this one. So there's that. Steve Macklin versus Jake Summit for the international title. I pick Macklin to retain. The TNA Knockouts World Tag Team titles on the line. I'm picking the Inspiration to win that one. Meanwhile, Mike Santana and Sami Callihan, this is difficult. I'm hoping Sami Callihan wins the stage for his job. I think something's going to happen. I think either Sami Callihan's going to I think here's what's going to happen. I think Mike Santana's going to win, but I don't think Sami Callihan's going to retire. You want to know why? Because Eric Young could get involved in this matchup. It cost Sami Callihan the match, and he can probably give Sami Callihan a reason to fight on. Leon Slater defends the X Division title against Cedric Alexander. I pick Leon Slater to retain. But the tag team titles between the Hardys and the Rascals, I pick the Rascals to win that one. And then the TNA World title, Triple Williams versus Moose. Moose is going to win the title. So, those are my picks and predictions for tomorrow's Emergence. So, that is all of today's episode of the show. Well, I'm going to upload this video and I'm going to get some sleep. Because tomorrow's Friday. Here's the deal. Here's what's up on the docket for tomorrow here on this channel. Got Bullseye. We got TNA Emergence and SmackDown. I'm going to do double duty multitasking to work on that. We shall soon find out what the heck is going on, and I'm starting to like it too. So, I will see you guys later. You guys have a wonderful rest of your night. Good night. Get some sleep. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. And I'll tell you what, until the next episode comes around, Mr. Announcer, take us home, homeboy. That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and do it for Bob Saget production, and in association with a Raving Bull for 3000 Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.